Well, here is part two. Sorry for the long delay on part two with making my full lace wig from top to bottom. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I did a video showing you what I've done to my hair. I braided my hair back because that's the way I intend on wearing my natural hair under the stocking cap, under the wig cap when I do my wig. So this is part two. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I have done once I have completed the mold. We're going to work with what I have created because this mold is a little tiny. I don't think my head is that small, but it fits onto the wig block. Now, when you're doing your mold, just keep in mind that you don't want to make your mold too tight to where it will not fit. It will fit either too snug or too tight on the wig block, because it's going to eventually stretch the lace, and when you actually put it on your head, then it is going to be a little bit on the sides where you have to make adjustments. So what I'm going to show you now is my step-by-step process. Now, this is what I've learned in the class that I've taken online, how I do my wigs, full lace wigs, starting from scratch. At the moment, I am still doing research on the best companies that sell real raw human hair wigs. And that there in itself is a feat, because you have to do your research. You have to remember your clientele. My clientele is basically those who are suffering from hair loss due to cancer, due to alopecia, cancer, chemotherapy, illness, stress-induced. They don't want a lot of things on their skin, which is why the products that I have are vegan products. And later on, I will do a video to introduce you to the products that I have. And it's not a lot. It's just something to start, because we're not looking for a whole lot. I'm not looking to fill my shelves like that at Paul Mitchell. I don't have that kind of money. And even if I did, I would not do that much product, because sometimes products are hard to get off the shelves. So I only have just enough to let people know, hey, this is what I do. If you need me to order some products that I do not have on hand now, just let me know. And I'll get to order the product, and that way charge accordingly. But in the meantime, we will be working on part two of this video, like I had promised. This part two is going to be me fitting the mold into the wig block and preparing it by padding the wig block. We're not going to say stuffing. Padding the wig block. And I'll show you how that is done. Okay, so I have with me my wig block. And what we're going to do is, my wig mold, I'm sorry. Now, before we put the wig mold onto the wig block, we need to find out where the middle is at both the front and the back of this little lady. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold my mold. And this is I'm detail oriented, and sometimes it's hard for me because I want to make sure I have it perfect. What I'm doing is I'm going to fold where I don't know if you can see that, this dark part here, the hairline that I've traced, it coincide with each other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it to where I can eventually hit to my center. And this is the center back right here. And also what I'm going to do is, let me find my permanent marker. This is one that is different from the black permanent marker. And I'm going to go right exactly, okay, if I can fold it, right exactly where that center is. I want to make sure I have that right and correctly folded. Take my red marker, permanent marker, and I'm going to mark I'm going to mark right on that line where I folded. And I'm going to do the best that I can to mark it. And I'm going to go into the top. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to get it as aligned as I can possibly can. And it's a bit of a challenge for me because I had to do this on my own. And I'm going to take my permanent red marker, and I'm going to mark right on that red right there. And that's going to help me determine the center on the front and the back. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to take a piece of tape. And the reason why I'm going to take this tape, I'm going to take this tape and put it completely over the markings. Because if you don't, what's going to occur is you'll have the permanent ink onto the lace, which will end up going onto the skin, and we are not going to have that. So I'm going to take a piece of tape, and I'm going to tape both of these sides. And y'all have to bear with me because I am in the process of trying to get equipment, and right now that's the furthest from my mind. I'm going to take this piece of tape, this little bitty piece of tape, and I'm going to just pop it completely over that red mark. That way it will not hit the lace that I'm going to use to ventilate and make this wig with. You're going to make sure you have all of that tape on to that red line. And the same with the back. And I'm just putting clear tape on it because that way it'll help me to see. And I just dropped my permanent marking, permanent ink, permanent pen, permanent marker, whatever it is. And same here. I'm just going to pop that piece of tape on that mark completely. Make sure it's covering all of that red mark. And that way we have the center in the back and the center and the front. And I'm going to go ahead and place this on the wig block. Okay, now I am with my wig block now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mold, this mold I have right here, I'm going to go ahead and place it on the wig block. Now, I am on the back of the wig block, the back of the head. And I don't know if you can see it, which is hard because I'm running my nail right around that center. You can probably see it right here where my thumbnail is, which is the center back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it onto the wig block and put that line, where that red line is, on that center back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on the wig block, and you have to be careful. You don't want to smash it. And I believe I have it. I may be a pinch off, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin this on here on this side for now, because in a minute I'm going to actually tape this on here. But I'm just going to pin it here for now to keep it still. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn her around. And I'm going to pull her. And this here is the center line. And I believe I have her, I I have her centered. She may be slightly off because my widow's peak is slightly off. And then again, I don't know. I might have to revamp, or I might have to go from the front. Oh, this is a lot right here. But I'm going to put this on here the best way that I can. And I might have to just move it to where this looks like this is going to be the best that I can put on here, because it's right, that red line. My ultimate goal for now is to get that red line on that center mark on the front and on the back. Make sure that if we are on the line, yes, the lighting is a little off, but hey, this is all that I have right now. I am going to work at getting equipment, but until then, this is what I'm going to work with. Now, I'm going to pin this, and I'm going to show you something. Before I tape this on here, and then again, I might have to probably do another one of these molds, which I don't mind. But this is just to basically show you where I'm at. Now, when I press my thumb here, you see all of this? All of this right here that I can put, that's a lot of space. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use polyfill to fill it to where it's more smooth. Right now, these are bumped edges, but we're going to work with this to smooth it out. The front. And then there's a possibility that I might have to just get another mold, because this one I might have placed it when I did the actual mold a little too tight. And then again, this wig block is bigger than my actual head mold, because my actual wig block is on another mannequin. Because I'm in the middle of doing something right now. So, and I'm not going to really press it too much, because this could be for a small child's head. Who knows? So that's that. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape my perimeter along the perimeter at the bottom. Not on the line necessarily per se, but on the line where the ear is. And from there, we'll go ahead and do the measurements, and we'll begin laying the lace. Okay, before we go on, just as a reminder, the types of tape to use when making a wig block in your pattern, your mold. This tape here is the translucent tape. This tape here is what I use to make the first 2 layers of my mold. Well, let me take this back. Not this one. This is the one that I use to do the remaining. This one here is the translucent. This is the one I use to make the first 2 layers of my mold. Afterwards, then I will continue doing several layers with this one. This is more of the opaque. This is translucent, which means transparent, which means you can see through the tape. This one is opaque, which means it's a little bit of a shadow over the tape. So what I'm going to do is use the translucent, and I'm going to tape around the perimeter of this mold just to have it seated or have it set. And this is something that I've learned from a class that I've taken. Everybody learns different. Everybody learns different. So this right here was something that I learned from another teacher who was a wig stylist, wig maker, wig stylist. And everybody's, like I said, they learn different. So just because I don't learn from a specific one that you learn from doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not doing the procedure correctly. It's what I was taught. You were taught one way, I was taught another. So, so it is what it is, you know. You have your own technique, I have mine, in other words. So that's the end all, the be all. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and go around the perimeter. And I'm trying to be careful not to go right on the line. This line right here, I don't know if I have a little bit of tape on there, but I'm just going to just go around the perimeter of the head, tape this, and get it done. And if it means I have to start over at some point, I'll just have to start over. This could be a block. I may end up having this wig made for someone whose head is smaller than mine. I don't mind doing it because, you know, we have a little hiccups and a little oops, but it is what it is. Now you want to make sure that your perimeter is taped well. And this is not something, I mean, this is a process. This is not like where you glue tracks to a wig cap, ball cap, or whether you machine sew tracks on a ventilated wig cap. This is where you actually make your own ventilated wig cap. And this is a process. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead now and we're going to go ahead and do the process to where we're actually padding this wig cap. As I've stated before, all of this that I'm easily mashing with my thumbs, where we're going to have to fill that spot. We're going to have to fill it because we want this to be a good fit. We don't want all of this right here that's on the top here is loose. We want to have a good fit. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead to the next step. Okay, so my next step is going to be using this here. This is polyfill. This is what you You can purchase this at Walmart. You can purchase this at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, any craft store, or go to Walmart, go to the craft section. And this is what you use to normally fill pillows, stuffed animals. But I'm going to use this to pad my wig block. So I'm trying to use the words in regards to wig making interchangeably. And I'm also going to have to be careful in my verbiage as far as what I do. What I'm doing is I'm creating durable medical equipment is what I am doing. I know there are people that make wigs for cosmetic wear, but when you are working with an insurance company, you do not want to let them know that you are wanting to a prescription for a wig. You're wanting to state cranioprosthesis or durable medical equipment. When working with the insurance companies, they'd rather you not use wigs as far as filing a claim, because that claim would automatically be denied. But if you use the term medical durable equipment or cranioprosthesis, that's going to take it to a whole nother level. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and prepare to create this pad off this wig block, and I'm going to show you my process of how I do it. Like I stated before, people do things different. So it's not no one all be all. It's whatever floats your boat. You may not pad the way I pad, and I might not pad the way you pad the wig block. But in the end, we're going to eventually reach the same end road, which is getting this to mimic the actual shape of the person's head. So this, what I make here, in the end, it may fit a smaller head. It may even fit a small child's head. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to proceed rocking with padding the block. Okay, so now we're preparing to pad the block. There are several items that you can use to pad the block. Mostly I'm going to use the polyfill, but I also have tissue paper. You can use a little bit of tissue paper to get the tight, flat back. And just when you're down to your very minimal roll of toilet paper, you can use this to hit the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn her around, and all of this that's up in here, we're going to start padding it. And what I'm going to do, oh good Lord, I forgot my tools to use to pad this. I will be right back. Okay, I am back, and I went ahead and I got a couple of things. A plastic knife, a plastic spoon, and these are just plastic knives and plastic spoons I got at work that I can use to, as far as aiding me in prepping, padding the block. I also went to Dollar Tree and I got this little handy item here. It is like a double silicone spatula. It's thick at the top, thin at the top, thicker here, and then this is a small one to get into smaller tight spaces. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my snippers. These are just little snippers that I got from Hobby Lobby. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start about right here at midpoint. I'm going to look at about a 2-inch cut on here. You don't want it too big to where the cut will tear. You just want to get it big enough to where you can eventually put your hands through. And this might take a minute because I'm trying to, because you want to be able to have a neat cut to where you can go back and just put tape over it once you're complete. And I might have to get some scissors because this does not look like this is going to be neat in any way possible. You know what? I don't feel like digging. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to do the best that I can in making that cut. Get a hole. There we go. And you're cutting through a lot of layers, but be careful when cutting because you don't want to cut too much. You know what? I'm going to have to get my scissors because not only am I doing wigs, I'm also upcycling clothes, but I won't do that here. I have another channel called Toth, which is Threads on the Hanger. I will get that channel up and going, but it won't be for a while on Toth. The reason why is because right now I'm working on this YouTube channel, Fab and Good Vibes, because I want to show my viewers my wig making aspect, or the wig making side of what I do. The clothing side of what I do, I have to push the channel, which I'll do that at a later time. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Yep, that's pretty good. Pretty much in there real good. There we go. We got enough in here to where I can go ahead and start padding. I'm going to start off with tissue because I've never worked with tissue. I mainly worked with the polyfill because that's what I've been working on. Take a little bit at a time. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently place that in there. You don't want to rip anything. I'm going to work with this starting off, and I'm going to put my thumb right here, right on that line. And I'm going to get in there and make sure that it's flat. Now, the purpose of this is to eventually fill that gap. You don't want anything loose, really. You just want to be able to fill the gap, but at the same time, you don't want a lot of bulk. Put a little bit of tissue paper in there at a time, and I'm going to take the little knife, and be careful when you place this. And I'm going to put my thumb back over there because I want a stopping point, because we want to make sure that this is to where it is a shape of the head. And take your polyfill and just go along with it. Take your time. And fill this up. You don't want to you want to make sure it's even. The end goal of this is to make sure that this is even, and at the same time, all of this right here that's bulky, I don't know if you can see it because I can't put it real close, but all of this is bulky. You want to be able to get that out. because what you want to do is think a human head is not lumpy. A human head is shaped different, but it's not real lumpy. So that's the goal of filling this wig block, is to make sure that these little gaps and dents are filled. And when you're using a knife or a fork or even the spatula, you want to be careful not to hit the mold. And this dent right here is starting to lift. Now over here, where you see dents at right here, you're not going to worry about trying to put a pressure on the knife or the spoolie to tear it, because you don't want this torn. What you can do is fill what you have cut already on here. And once that's filled to satisfactory, then what you're going to do is you're going to take that tape and you're going to seal it. Because you can always come back over here on this side and cut another slit here to fill all of this. So don't focus on all of this right here, because your slit is not over here yet. You have a slit that's over in this area. And you want to make sure that the dent here is filled. And just think of an actual shape of a person's head. You don't want a whole bunch on one side and very little on the other. You want to make sure that it is evenly proportioned. And I see this dent is lifting. So just when you do padding on a wig block, take your time. And this dent is starting to lift, and it's starting to become a smooth. You want a smooth shape. You don't want a denty, bumpy shape here. Over in here, you might want to take a little bit of your polyfill and just go in. Now, this little bit amount right here, if I put that in, that's going to be a lot. You just put a little bit of the polyfill in at a time and get into that space that is bumpy and dented. And you want to gradually get that dent out without tearing up your mold. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And when I get back, I'll show you that progress. Okay, so what I have here, notice that when I close this up or I tape this up, this right here is tighter now. So what I'm going to continue doing is just continuing putting a little bit of the polyfill at a time. But I'm going to, because this is a pretty lengthy, I'm not going to make this boring to where you're going to see me put polyfill all over here, because this is going to be a long process. But I'm just giving you the gist of what I am doing at this point. This is part 2. There's going to be many bits and pieces and parts to this, but this is just where I am at now. And if you can, this may seem a little funny looking, but if you notice here, let me get this straightened out, because okay. Over here, you notice how tight it is at the bottom and how it's gradually going up to where that part of the occipital bone, that's a hard one to pronounce, but you're going to get the gist of it. So you don't want this to protrude out, because the client's head at the back of the occipital bone is not protruding out a lot. So this is just the gist of what I am doing in regards to part 2 of the video, padding a block. What I will do next week, as far as a demonstration video, this is what I am doing now in pertaining to preparing to make the full lace wig. Next week, what I'll do is I will go ahead and lay the lace, and I'll just demonstrate that. I have the measurements, and I'm going to go ahead and just draw out the measurements and go ahead and lay the lace and have this prepared for when I go into the actual ventilating process. And that is going to be a while. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video right here. Thank you so much for tuning in to my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, and comment. And also go to my Facebook page. It is Gloria J. Armstrong when you pull up Facebook. And I will get with you on Friday. And Friday I will go ahead and do another informative video. So what I will be doing is on Sundays I'll be doing my shorts. Midweek I'll do like a demonstration video on what I am doing. And on Friday I will be doing the informative video where you'll see me chatting in regards to what I am doing or what is being done. Give you more information on what I have done in the shorts with more detailed information. And with that being said, we thank you so very much for tuning in, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.